Hey everybody, it's Kenny Cummins here, chilling with Jeff and Kenny C. And we are proud to be a sponsor of MOLL Mag. And I'm very excited to be joined with a MOLL Mag representative. She's a DJ and producer from St. Louis. The lovely Angela Villin is with me. How's it going?
It's going good. Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are doing good.
Well, thank you so much for taking this time and doing this interview. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for giving me a chance to do it.
And we're definitely going to get into the MOLL Mag involvement with you in a matter of moments. But first,
Okay.
we'll focus on the DJ and producing side.
Perfect.
How did you get started in
Oh, my
becoming?
goodness.
Yeah.
So I started when I was 15 years old. Went out and I had a fake ID. I went to a nightclub here in St. Louis and I saw the DJ and I was just like, oh my God, that's what I want to do. So I ended up getting the equipment. I spent about 3 hours a day practicing, and then I had some people tell me, hey, you're really good. You should, get out in the club scene and, do your thing. And I was like, I don't know about that. So anyway, about 3 years later, I was already DJing in the nightclubs right about the time where I was legally to get into them. So yeah, I started with like underground rave scene culture here in St. Louis, which was very big at the time. And then I also did a lot of large scale events and nightclubs throughout the area. So that's basically how I got started. Right now, I have just one DJ gig that I do on the regular. It's for a place called Massa's. So I'm there pretty much every week. So it's worked out because it's actually like, my job, like I'm actually getting paid to do what I've always wanted to do. So as far as the DJing goes, but I've done a lot of touring. I've been a lot of different places. I played Ultra Miami. I've had a lot of really great opportunities to DJ next to some very, very big DJ and producers. So very happy that I've had this past 15 years and looking forward to many, many more. So right now I'm just trying to focus on producing music. That's the biggest thing for me because I want to get my music out there. And if I turn around and start DJing out and traveling again, then so be it. But right now, the sole focus is on producing songs.
So you being a DJ, obviously, your responsibility to get the crowd going,
Yes.
on the ones and twos, play some music here and there. How would you best describe the club scene in St. Louis, or in this case,
Oh
in the
boy.
place that you work at?
Well, the club scene has sort of declined here. I'm not quite sure what the problem is, but we still do have a couple large scale nightclub. Rise is one of them. It's in a casino here, and there's a lot of big headliners that come in from all over the world. That's basically the main like big one. So that one's here, and then there's a lot of other smaller clubs, but nothing huge like it used to be. We used to have very, very big nightclubs here that were well known, and DJs and producers coming in all the time at multiple places. So yeah, it's declined a little bit, unfortunately, but there's still some good events that happen and a lot of big names that come through. So at least we have that. A lot of people they don't have that in their city or in their town. So
One thing I notice is that I go to a club or a bar and DJs bring the energy and you have a good time. People get a drink or two. It's just the atmosphere and that's quite a responsibility for a DJ and I give kudos to all the DJs, men and women.
yes,
That
yes, and it is. You're right. You're absolutely right.
So it's truly cool to see women doing DJing. They women have been doing DJ for quite a while. They just don't get the recognition that the men do.
Absolutely. It seems like it's a smaller amount of male dominant type job, but there are a lot of female DJs out there and a lot of really good female DJs and producers out there. But yeah, it's kind of far and few between, compared to the males in the industry, but that's just fine. I get out there and I do my thing, and I don't care if anybody's dancing or not. Like, I put on my show for everybody who is there. And as long as they're having a great time and into it, then that makes me happy. And I'm always dancing behind the decks, and I'm always smiling and singing and, pumping up the crowd when I've got a lot of people in the room and stuff. So, it's a really good feeling. And I always have people who are maybe in the bar section or, outside or whatever come in and tell me, they're just like, "You're amazing. How do you go from this to that?" So I go all over the board now with EDM music, and I'm doing trap, hip hop. I'm doing a lot of open genres now, and before I was just doing break beats. So I started as a breakbeat DJ, and now I'm playing everything from breaks and drum and bass to trap to deep house. So I loved all those genres, and it's awesome that I can go out there and just play what I want and bounce around, and it doesn't have to have a rhyme or reason, but people love it, and they just can't believe the flow, like how I make it flow. They're just like, "How did you do that?" Like, I don't know. It's just effortlessly, like, I just do it, I don't know how to explain it. I hear a song and I think of something else, and I hear something else, and I'm just like, all right, this is going to work. And I'm like autopilot, So it's very rewarding. It really is.
It's basically the love for it and the passion that goes along with it, and you gotta have that love for it. You gotta have that passion.
You absolutely have to have that. If you don't, and you're just someone standing behind there pushing buttons or, not really like interacting and stuff, like it's going to change the mood. It's not going to be as good. People aren't going to like feel the vibe, and, they're not going to be as into it, So yeah, it's like a whole package deal, basically.
So I want to get to the producing side. You are making beats in addition to, and how's that experience been for you so far?
Whew, it's been a tough one, let me tell you. I have been working on producing music now for almost 10 years. I have several songs that have been released worldwide, which is awesome. And plenty more to come. So it's been a bit of a learning curve at first. I read a lot of books, and I had to learn the terminology. I had to understand synthesis and, just putting the beats together and, making my own drum racks. And, it's just a lot to learn, and I just kind of took it all in, and I just kept practicing, and I didn't want to give up. There was a lot of times where I felt like I wanted to give up because it's hard for a producer sometimes to feel like the song is done. You know what I mean? Like, it could be really like good and perfect, but you're going to be your own worst critic. So right now, I've been spending on average of 5 to 8 hours in the studio a day. This is something new that I just started about 3 weeks ago, and it's really paying off. Like, I feel so good about what I'm doing. I'm smiling. I have no care in the world. And even if something doesn't work out while I'm producing, like, you know what? I just start doing something else and make it sound good. I change it up, and I try not to let it stress me out or, bother me at all. And I just stick to it and stay strong. So that's where I'm at right now. And I have a couple songs coming out next month. So I am doing a remix of a song called International Girl. It's by an artist named Wardy. He's actually in Jamaica. So I'm really excited to be doing this remix because I absolutely love the vibe and the feel of the song. It's like very tropical and, Rasta-like, and I love that stuff. So I'm making a kind of like a liquid jungle drum and bass type remix out of his song, and I'm super excited to release it. So that will be coming up very soon. I also have another song that will be released next month with a producer. We did a collab. His name is Psy Dog of Dog Eat Dog Records. And that song is going to be called Drop and Scream. And it is finished, but we are going to work on some different cover photos, some stuff that we're trying to make a little bit more, what's the word, custom. So, but it's coming as well. So I'm super excited. And I just know that now that I've been doing all this time in the studio, like that's where it's at, and that's where I'm going to be, and I'm going to give it my all 100%.
That's a very long time doing this.
It is. I left my full-time oil job a couple of years ago to pursue music. I moved to Florida, and I was working on music and doing gigs there, and I ended up moving back here, but I ended up moving back here, and I decided to work part-time so that I could put this much time and energy into producing music, because that's what it takes. Like, it's going to be really hard for somebody to work a full-time job and just produce music all the time. It's just not going to work. You work all day, and you come home and you're like, oh, people still do it, though. People still definitely do it. And the better you get, the faster you get at making the songs. So, it might take me, 20 hours to make the song, or 10 hours to make the song, where it could only take somebody else maybe 3 or 4. It just depends, So you just keep getting better and better and better, like anything else that you do with your craft.
That is very, very true. And what I admire about that is that when you work on something, you take your time with it. You make sure that it sounds the way that you want and the way that the artist want. And, too many times people want to work on stuff and put it out there, and then it sounds crappy.
It's not ready, right? Yeah. There's like, get it out. And, I think that's something that producers are early on, they just kind of want to get done with it. And I know I felt like that too before. And a lot of it's just like, you're putting so much into it, and you want to call it done, or you want to do this and you want to move on. And, it's just, it's something that people absolutely have to sit down and spend a lot of time on and really know what they're doing, so they don't, put out a bunch of shitty music, because that's exactly what will happen. You're right.
Very, very true. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing your new stuff for sure. Looking forward to checking it out. And anyone that's involved with the MOLL Mag family, whether it's a magazine, a model, or artist, you're good with me. And shout out to Ashley Salazar for all she do for so many people, including me. I just want to take that time and acknowledge that for sure. So absolutely. And speaking of MOLL Mag, I want to get into that as well. Okay. How did you end up pairing up with Ashley Salazar? How did that all came about?
Well, we have done some different modeling events together and such, and we talked back and forth over Facebook for a very long time. We have a lot of common interest and know a lot of the same people and stuff. So she said that she's been wanting to do a shoot and put me in the magazine, for some time now, and just do an entire article about my DJing and producing and everything. So I was just ecstatic when she told me that. So we went out and we did part 1 of the shoot. It was extremely hot when we did it, so we actually were only out there for a couple hours, and we still got tons of very, 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 very good shots. But we have round 2 coming up next week, so I believe August is when I'm going to have the feature. So I can't wait. I'm so excited.
So definitely keep an eye on that for sure. On the MOLL Mag digital magazine. Keep an eye
Yes, a
on
lot of
that.
really good supporters there too. They're a great team, and there's a lot of support, and it's just amazing. They do a great job. They take their time, and they make it legit. It is legit, super legit. So yeah, like I said, I'm ecstatic.
So before I let you go, why don't you go ahead and promote your social media links, Facebook, Twitter,
Sure.
Instagram, and where can people hear your music per se?
Okay, so on SoundCloud, they just have to look up Angela Villin, Villin. My last name is Villinger, so you could always look up Angela Villinger, and if you just type that in Google, it will pull up all types of stuff. It will pull up all of my socials. But no matter what I'm on, it's basically going to be Angela Villin. So just search Angela Villin, and you should have no problem finding me. All of my songs are up on SoundCloud, but I'm also on iTunes, Beatport, Amazon, tons and tons of platforms around the world. So it should not be too hard to find me.
And to make sure people don't get confused, villain is spelled Villin, not villain as in the bad guy name. Just it's
Right. I'm
V,
the other villain.
yeah, the good villain.
So,
So
yeah, that's right. And people do, they spell it like that. I'm like, no, that's not right. Sorry. But yeah, so you just, search that, and my music will come up, and a lot of other good stuff. So,
it,
yeah.
it was so great getting to chat with you, and
Yes, thank you.
just getting that enthusiasm from you. I like that. I always like that for sure. Thank you so much for your time. Continued success. And you know what? I love to play your music on my radio show one day.
Oh, I would love to do that. We
So
could do a mix. Whatever, honestly. So I could do mixes. I could do mixes of my mixes, and others. So yeah, I would love to do that sometime.
So absolutely. So it could be like regular music. It could be remixes. Whatever you have available, I'll play it. I'll just play
Oh,
it.
thank you so much. That's awesome. Spreading the love. That's great.
So we'll definitely make that happen in the near future for sure. So everybody go check out her music, check out her social media feeds, and support this lady. She's on the grind, doing her
Oh,
thing.
yes. I am on the grind, man. On the grind. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone out there who is listening. And like I said, I'm just excited and just ready to just pump it out.
That will conclude the interview. I am Kenny Cummings alongside with the lovely Angela Villin. Go check out Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C on Saturdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at tmvcafe.com to support all things local and independent music. I am Kenny Cummings signing out, and take
Kenny,
care.
thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Much love, much love.